All right, so coming into today, I'll show you on the next chart, but coming into today, I was neutral on bias, actually leaning slightly more bullish, but I just needed to see how the open performed, kind of that opening range move so I was leaning more bullish, but mostly neutral coming in. The reason I was neutral was overnight we did have quite a large. This is NDQ, so I'll go to this is regular trading hours, and what was spooking me out, even with the overnight rise in price, was as you can see here, we're in a downtrend, and where do I want to see this downtrend reach? Is this massive gap we left in the chart. So we got so close to it, and even with that, we've 1, 2, 3 equal lows with the gap below. So ideally, if we did show signs of rolling over in the AM, I wanted to see us come down and tap this gap. And as you can see here with this 15-minute close, this is on bar replay mode. We opened up here, came down for a new day opening gap, and then continued to move lower. It's even a little cleaner to see here. So as you can see here, this is on the 15 minute. So coming into today, I saw we came down, took this low, and NQ. Asia was a little choppy, but still bullish, and then London was bullish. And we never took out these highs. Well, yes, we never took out these highs or these highs. We've got a bunch of resting highs up here. So when we fell off here, what I really want to see was just a retrace, and then see how we respond to Asia. If we see a little bounce off Asia, but then continue to roll over, I'm going to be looking down to these lows. So that's the gap on NDQ. So with that, as you can see here, NQ was the weaker asset. We got that bounce off Asia and then immediately rolled over back through it. So for me, that's a really high quality continuation sign. So with that, I was looking for my entry, and this is perfect. So this is my entry model. We have this 1 minute fair value gap. We roll right through it and we see some continuation. So really what I'm looking for here is to get tagged in. And here I get tagged in, and we see an awesome displacement right down towards that low in NDQ, and we never quite get there, and I end up getting stopped out. But it was a half risk day. This was this was a very challenging week, price action wise. I did extremely well. I did 75% win rate, so 3 days out of the 4. And the one day I did have my loser, and this is why I de-risk on Fridays to half hour. So it really didn't impact me that much. But even if we're looking at today, what was the best trade of the day? It would have been to really sit in your hands. Well, I think this is an awesome trade. I'd take this 10 times out of 10. But if I was a little bit more, say, patient, like, oh, I didn't really like this. We were pretty heavily in premium. Maybe I didn't like this trade. I could have said I'm going to wait to see what we get around the 11 a.m. macro. So at 10:55 or 10:50, we get this close through this 5 minute here, and this here would have been a really great trade too. You would have got tagged in here, and then aim up toward, like, you could have easily just taken a 1.5R and aimed up towards these highs, knowing that at 11 we're probably going to get a burst of volatility. Sorry, on the 5 minute. Yeah, so this is the candle here. This is the 5 minute candle. Put your stop here in the 5 minute fair value gap we created. There you go. That would have been a great trade. We came right back up to the constant encroachment of a 1 hour fair value gap here, and I think we're continuing higher now. All right, so yeah, it's getting a little tough to manage, but yeah, overall it was a very very tough week. August tends to be that way, and then next week, again, I don't really have high hopes going into the dog days of summer, leading up to Labor Day weekend, and we've contract rollover in September too, so September could be quite tricky as well. Yeah, I think in these sort of conditions, really, even today, like, I had to hold for this extreme, but I still, like, at one point I was up 1.2R, you know, and in these conditions, like, it's almost just smart, like, you, like, that, having like a one-to-one risk reward strategy you'd actually be killing it in these markets. We just haven't been seeing follow through. Like when those follow through conditions do come again, like right now we're not in them, and like this still spooks me that we left all these lows behind. It's very hard for me to have very high conviction in a massive reversal here. Yeah, we could get it and leave all those lows sitting, but I'm just not convinced. I'd really like to see this hit before we go up higher to take out all this liquidity. But we'll see. We've still got a couple of weeks before the summer's out.